who are the best characters ever in animes.
37, 38, 39! Well, Mir, looks like I win. 40!
This list includes the top favorites in manga, possibly of all time. These are the classics, the most beloved characters, including anime and manga protagonists like Son Goku, the fictional protagonist of the Dragon Ball manga series, and Del, the fictional detective in the manga series Death Note. With that said, on to the list.
てめえ一体11番隊隊長ザラキケンパジだ
Although he is known to be a violent fighter, Kenpachi's actions tend to be for the best. Kenpachi lives for battle, and enjoys a good fight more than anything. He even holds back in an effort to make any fight last longer. He claims injury and death are nothing but the price one pays for a good fight.
てめえと殺し合いに来た
Despite his tendency to be brutal, Kenpachi usually stops a fight if his opponent is too injured to fight back, claiming he is not interested in fighting weaklings who can't fight anymore, and he does not feel obligated to deal a death blow to anyone who cannot fight any longer.
せっかくここまで楽しくなってきたのに
Crocodile is self-assured, confident in himself and in his abilities. His great power is shown when he defeats Luffy twice, almost killing him both times. He enjoys toying with weaker opponents, often grinning and laughing smugly during battle. His willingness to kill shows his pitiless nature, and he does not think twice about sentencing another person to death. He is also very quick to get angry if someone insults or ridicules him in any way. If Crocodile is extremely angry or annoyed with his victim, he will rarely kill them outright, instead leaving them to suffer as they slowly die.
Crocodile!
私が第99代ブリタニア皇帝ルルーシビ・ブリタニアです
Lelouch is a highly intelligent individual who is also calm, sophisticated, and arrogant due to his aristocratic upbringing. While at school, Lelouch conducts himself as a sociable, likable, and often easygoing student. However, this is really a mask to hide his true nature.
俺がゼロだ
While as Zero his true nature is expressed. His charisma and beliefs in justice gain him the trust and respect of many soldiers and leaders. In battle, Lelouch is very cold and tactical. He is willing to sacrifice civilians and soldiers alike, if that is what it takes to achieve the objective.
貴様たちは死ぬ
Blackleg Sanji is a pirate and the cook of the Straw Hat Pirates. He is officially the 5th member of the Straw Hats crew and the 4th to join it. Since he was born in North Blue, he is the first Straw Hat not to originate from East Blue. He is one of the monster trio in the crew alongside Luffy and Zoro. His dream is to find the rumored All Blue, which is where East Blue, West Blue, North Blue, and South Blue meet along with the wildlife, a chef's paradise. He has a bounty of belly 177 million, which is only valid if captured alive. For the request of his father.
Just a humble bounty hunter, man.
Spike is a slothful, listless, indifferent, and lazy character. He indeed passes the vast majority of his time on the bebop lounging, watching TV, or sleeping. In a few rare occasions, he is also seen reading or practicing Jeet Kune Do, a martial arts practice he is very skilled in. Being among other things passionate of Bruce Lee films. He is a hardened smoker, shown with a cigarette in his mouth in practically every shot. Spike is rarely seen excited about something and, even less frequently, says he likes something.
Reincarnation niggas screaming peace cause they feel when my squad face up.
Levi is described as a clean freak by those who know him personally, as he prefers his environment and himself to be spotlessly clean. He is averse to having either himself or his equipment soiled, and he has been known to wipe down his blood-smeared blades while still on the battlefield. However, he will not hesitate to touch filth if he deems it necessary. Despite his preoccupation with cleanliness, Levi is abrasive and not very approachable. He rarely shows emotion, giving a cold impression to others.
Lone survivor last, they got me in the sights.
From a young age he was quiet and insightful, showing noticeable maturity for his age and knowledge on how to deal with every situation. At the same time, he was still fairly naive as a child in many real-world scenarios and as such was willing to learn from his peers on how to differentiate situations. He lived at a distance, observing individuals and ideas without getting directly involved so that he could fully understand them. Although this approach prevented him from becoming close with many people, it enabled him to think and act without prejudice or preconceptions, instead evaluating things strictly on their own merits. On the surface, Edward displays an immature sort of personality. He is decidedly stubborn and strong-willed, frequently letting his pettiness and vindictiveness get the better of him.
You mean that little shorty there?
Shorty! Gonna shorty do this? What else you wanna call me, a half?
He is somewhat selfish and remarkably self-absorbed, generally acting more out of self-interest than any sort of philanthropy, as well as taking several opportunities to stroke his own ego or flaunt the governmental power and monetary license of his military position. He is largely hostile towards figures of authority and feels little incentive to follow orders with which he disagrees, earning him the distinction of being a loose cannon of sorts. The epitome of raw coolness, power, and the ideal many leaders seek to emulate in the anime and manga world. He is none other than Monkey D. Luffy. You'd never know it when he's stuffing his face with meat or shoving chopsticks up his nose, but Luffy's punches can be absolutely terrifying when you're on the wrong side of his wrath. Never mind that his body is rubber and, for some people, nearly impossible to injure with physical blows. Naruto was very determined and has very strong values that he never once fails to act by, even in hopeless situations. His dream is to become Hokage, as it is the epitome of his ambitions to have the village acknowledge him and live for the sake of protecting his important people. Naruto has a knack for inspiring people to realize their potentials and resolve to work harder or change their ways for the better. His determination and resolve often earn him sympathy from other characters. Though he is naturally impetuous, hyperactive and tends to rush into combat without thinking, Naruto was capable of devising some quite clever plans by creative usage of his jutsu.
I recognize you though, Kakarot. Welcome, Kakarot.
Goku is known for his cheerful, energetic personality and his love for competition and eating. He will eat anything. Goku's love for food can be comical at times. In the tournament saga, when put to sleep by Jackie Chan, Bulma was able to save his match by screaming to him that dinner was ready, to which Goku immediately woke up to break the count. He has remarkable intuition to see the good in others in spite of their actions, though his capacity for forgiving has occasionally been criticized as excessive. Though Goku mostly fights to win, he often spares his enemies even if they in turn attack him.
You should have left my son out of this.
We are the
But I assure you, L is real. I do exist. Now, try to kill me.
L is quite secretive, and only communicates with the world through his assistant, Watari. He never shows his face to the world in person, instead representing himself with the capital letter L drawn in Old English mount typeface. L is very intelligent.
So there are some people you can't kill. You've given me a useful hint.
Though his disheveled and languid appearance masks his great powers of deduction and many question his abilities upon viewing him. L tends to second-guess everything he is presented with, and is extremely meticulous and analytical. He is good at deceiving his opponents, and is willing to take drastic measures to solve a case.
Humans are so much fun. L. Kira. I will hunt you down wherever you're hiding, and I will eliminate you. I am justice.